Hello and welcome. My name is Jessica Apple, and I would like to take this opportunity to introduce myself and give you a little background on my journey. I'm currently in my third year teaching third grade math. However, this is my 10th year teaching. Currently this year, I won my Campus Teacher of the Year award and am among the top 3 finalists for Elementary Teacher of the Year for the district. I find out May 2nd, and I'm super nervous. To be honest, becoming an educator was not part of my plans. I wanted to become a child psychologist. However, my life took some interesting turns that led me to teaching. I became pregnant when I was 18 and had a baby boy that same year. Then I turned around and got pregnant at 19 and had my daughter at 20. The semester I had my daughter, I took off and had to really reevaluate my situation. When I returned to WT in August, I knew I had to make a change, and it was so difficult walking back into my advisor's office to make the decision to become an educator. To become a child psychologist, I would need at least my master's, and then if I wanted to make money, a doctorate, and that task just seemed so daunting with 2 little babies. So I really thought about it and what would I love and enjoy and be useful to me quicker. So when I was in high school, I was a member of the National Honor Society. Part of this program involved completing volunteer hours. And I was lucky enough that seniors in high school usually had a few class periods off at the end of the day, and I volunteered to help read and teach our nonverbal, severely disabled special education students during the last 2 hours of school. I fell in love with it. I was able to form connections with these students. I loved teaching and was good at it. With child psychology being out of reach, becoming a special education teacher was something I knew I would love, a career at which I would excel, and I'd be making the difference in the lives of children. And let me tell you, not pursuing education was the best decision or child psychology was the best decision I ever made. And going into education has been the most rewarding thing in the world. When it was time for me to student teach, I was placed at Mesa Verde, one of the northernmost schools in Amarillo. As a native of Amarillo, this made me very nervous. I attended Southside schools, and growing up, I was not allowed to go to the north part of town alone. Additionally, this was going to be a resource teaching position. I didn't want resource position. I wanted to be in a classroom for severely disabled students. I tried to get out of it. But again, I'm very lucky that I wasn't able to. When I arrived at Mesa Verde, I fell in love. The culture in the school was nothing like I'd ever seen before. It felt as if the whole world was represented in this school, and the teachers worked hard to make a difference in the lives of these children. It was the most beautiful experience I've ever had. It was so beautiful, in fact, that when a position in a kindergarten classroom became available with half-day PPCD, I jumped at this opportunity and accepted the position. I was going to get the best of both worlds. I could work with my special education kids and general education students. I would have the little kids and be part of this amazing community. This was great because during the entire time I was in college, I worked at a daycare designed to include special needs children under the age of 5. So I had tons of experience with these little kids. So I was so thrilled. However, being a new teacher, I was semi-successful in this role for 2 years. Then Amarillo ISD restructured the special ed program, and we lost our PPC program got moved to a different elementary campus where they could have somebody else and it could be more collaborative. So my special ed babies moved, and I became a general ed kindergarten teacher. I loved it. During this time, I encountered some of the most difficult situations you can imagine. I had multiple students start their first day in America in my classroom that had no idea of any words in English. To go to the bathroom, they do the potty dance. Um, it was definitely a shock. I had children who came from backgrounds of poverty and trauma. I had to learn quickly how to address all these needs with the limited funds and resources I had available to me while trying to teach them academics. It made me who I am. It made me a strong teacher because these students deserved that. They deserved the best out of me and out of any educator that they were to encounter. I taught during COVID, the reopening of schools, the Chromebooks, Canvas, all the technological things that came about during this time. And I personally had many life changes during this time. After we came back, the first grade teacher had health issues and unfortunately had to quit in the middle of semester. And kindergarten just didn't have enough sections to make four anymore due to COVID and students not coming back. So I was asked if I would move into that first grade position at semester. I was thrilled to do that. After being there for a year and a half, my principal asked me to take on the task of teaching third grade math, which I happily did. I love math. But STAR did intimidate me a bit, but after so much strength and so long, I was ready for this task. I have loved every position, grown continuously as an educator, and made a difference in the lives of many students. I try to make learning fun at Mesa and working with the teachers. We try to create unique experiences and engagement opportunities such as Fun Fridays, field trips, nachos for numbers, science night at the Discovery Center. We'll get buses so that our families have access to this because a lot of them don't drive. UIL competitions, participating in Battle of the Books, and we even decorate the hallways at Christmas. Look at this craziness. This was my hallway the first year I did it, in my first grade hallway. But it literally is floor to ceiling from the time you enter the school to the time you leave the school. Each hallway has a different decoration, different theme, and it is truly insane and magical what we do for these kiddos to create experiences that they might never have for themselves. Working at Mesa Verde has provided me with many opportunities to grow as an educator. I've been a mentor to first-year teachers, served on vetting committees for curriculum changes, helped plan long-range planning for the district, and been the leader and coach for our behavioral system champs. I've had the opportunity to attend Solution Tree and learn about the importance of PLCs, as well as represent our school area to TEA. I went down to Austin and I was able to work on the state testing questions to advocate for my students, since a lot of times most ESL students tend to be Spanish speaking, but in this instance it was much more intense because we have so many different languages, and to advocate for those students was phenomenal. Um, I was born and raised here in Amarillo with a brief stint in Lubbock. I love Amarillo very much. My roots are here. My children were born here. My children are currently 14 and 13. My boy is 14 and my daughter is 13. They are both attending Bonham Middle School here in Amarillo in 7th and 8th grade. I'm going to have a high schooler. We are constantly busy with volleyball and orchestra with my daughter and band, and my son is in the 4-H program doing pigs. So if we're not busy doing that, We're busy traveling, but I've done many things out of order. I have a partner, and we've been together for 2 years now. He's become such an integral part of our family. We love our adventures and traveling and creating new experience. This is us here in St. Martin, fixing to go on a sea trek to the bottom of the ocean. We enjoy being outdoors. He's been working on growing our backyard into a little oasis, which I'm taking advantage of. We love to walk our dogs regularly. We have 4 dogs at this moment, and I refuse to get any more. We have Elvis, our old boy, here in the middle. Tipsy, our nut job, she's over here on the couch, just chilling, but usually she's pretty crazy. And then these are our 2 youngest. Frankie, with the pointy ears over here, is my Yorkie. He's a mooch. And then the puppy, which is Snitzel, she's our baby. She's the newest member. She's fixing to be 1 year old. She has definitely created a place in our hearts. I hope you know me a little better now. If you need anything or have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I would love to help and support you guys in anything you need. If you would like to set up a time to meet, please email me at my email address, jessica.apple@amasd.org. I'm proud to be a part of this community and cannot wait to see what this year has in store for us in our future. Thank you guys so much.